This is the third part in Raini Bowles' presentation entitled FYI with Aces High, I Hope I Cans, I Know I Cans, Yes I Cans, Shine On, given at the 2021 Yes You Cans Parent Education Conference. Raini begins with encouraging parents with the acronyms from the conference with the goal of better services for your children through a coordinated CANS and advocating for best practices for your child's treatment plan. She encourages parents to shine on.
Why do we need to keep notes on what works? Because the CANS assessment and the reassessments result in yes. And everybody wants yes, nobody wants no, right? The whole reason we're doing CANS is to get that yes, to have those services. And we want to keep our eye on that goal. The goal is to get the yes and to have those CANs so that our providers can have that collaborative community where they're all working together to help our children and our families to be their best. So yes, I CANs. I completed it. I got it done. And then I was able to access youth empowerment services for my kids. And we have used CBRS, we have used counseling, we have used respite. We hope to use more. I'm just learning about wraparound, which I know we need, but I haven't been able to access yet. We're still working on trying to get the child family team together because we don't have the TCC part done yet. So we still have ways to go, but I know that I've had a lot of wins. I had to fight and advocate for them, but I had that hope and I was keeping notes and I was able to complete the CANs and the reassessments. And each time I'm able to get more services and more benefits for my children. So Dr. Abrams said, this thing called getting help, it's not easy. And she was really right. I'm sure all of us feel that. I'm sure we all know that it's probably one of the hardest things that we do. Yes, we have to deal with the behaviors and we have to deal with the public and how our kids interact there and how people don't get it, and the schools and the IEPs and the 504s and the providers and going over things a million times and all of these forms and all the paperwork. All of that is the part that's not easy, because all of that is the getting help, the saying something, talking about it, and being vulnerable and transparent, sometimes with people we don't even know. It's not easy. And the only way we're going to get this help for our kids and for ourselves is by doing that. We have to kind of drop that guard ourselves because we want to be strong and capable for our kids, but we have to be vulnerable too. If we can't be real, they can't really help us. According to Dr. Fernando, we should advocate for one coordinated CANs, not multiple CANs like we're doing. One, and I think that maybe Idaho just doesn't fully know how to do it, or not all of the providers. We know that we're a baby program. I work in foster care, and so I work with the children's CPS and the DHS. And I know it's a baby program. We're still working on it, but we, as the family that this is impacting, need to come together and explain to them how it should be working and how we need it to work so that we aren't overwhelmed by all of it. So one coordinated CANs, find who that provider is going to be and do that. Last year, no kidding, I had just finished over 10 hours in 3 days with a provider who literally went line by line, 120 questions, all 5 kids, to do the CANS assessment. I didn't know this wasn't the way it was supposed to be. No kidding, 2 days after I had completed that, I got a phone call from Liberty saying, hey, we need to redo your CANs. And I lost it. I did. Mama Bear came out. I am like, no, I cannot do this. My kids cannot do this. Secondary trauma, I'm not going there. No. And I said, why can't you use that one? Well, we can't. We have to do our own. So I went and did the research, and I found out that no, they can. For up to 6 months, they can use another providers as long as it is uploaded to the CANS unit. I think things have even changed since then. This is what I had found out. I also found out that the reassessment isn't supposed to take very long. So it was a lot of advocating on my part, making a lot of people mad. But sticking to my guns and standing up for my kids and myself, and we were able to get it done. And I want you guys to advocate too. You need to stand up for yourselves. Put that air mask on you first. Take your deep breath and then be able to stick up for your kids and help them to survive this too, because it's not easy, like she said. All right, so once you have that one provider that's doing that cans, we're going to require that all the providers are collaborative, and it's going to ensure that they're getting coordinated care because everybody's looking at the same document. And guess what? They have to go to that document because you're not providing it to everybody else so that they're getting a little bit of a different story or you forget a part. They're getting the same one. That's the only one they're getting. So it has to be collaborative, okay? And then we're going to have that one simple central provider that's doing that cans. We're going to refer everybody that needs one to them. They have it. It's on the CAN system. If you have questions about it, you need to go to them. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have to do the reassessment. We do, but it should be quick and simple at that point in time. And we should make sure they've read it in advance. They call you like a day or two before to remind you of your appointment, and just remind them. We're just reassessing this. I hope you've already read it because I'm not rehashing it. I don't need the secondary trauma. And then we need to make sure that we're getting our own copy of our cans so we can tell what level do our kids have? Where are they? What's that intensity? So we know what services we should be able to, and then talk to that one provider. Know that child's level of care. What are the short-term goals and the long-term goals? What interventions and supports are we able to access, and are we able to access them? How can we do that? Let's talk to that one provider. Once we know these things, we can have those discussions. We need to also update that plan and those interventions to make sure that if something's not working or something has changed, that we can definitely update that CANS. You don't have to wait for a year. Get it on there so all of the providers know what's going on, and advocate, advocate, advocate. All right. There's a lot of information that she gave us. So hers is 2 pages long. She also said to utilize that treatment planning pyramid that Dr. Israel gave us, the one that's in the documents on HUVA, and to track what's important. Guess what? The no. That's the keep notes on what works. Track what's important. Keep it in that book so you know exactly where it's at. Use trauma-informed, evidence-based practices. If something isn't trauma-informed, or not evidence-based, that doesn't mean it couldn't be usable. Some of the music therapies, some of the therapies out there, not all of them are evidence-based, but some of them help our kids. But we also want to make sure that a lot of the things we are doing are trauma-informed and evidence-based, so we're not re-injuring our kids or causing more problems and making it harder for all of us and ourselves too, right? When things are not trauma-informed. She said specifically, I don't feel this is trauma-informed. Let's try something trauma-informed instead. I like the fact that she said, we have that voice. Let's use it. Let's say those things. Our kids may not be able to, so we need to speak up for them. And we can also teach our kids to say that. My kids know how to say that. This isn't trauma-informed. Learn about and understand the CANS tools and the processes. Now with those processes, there's a CANS user's tip sheet that she has. And then there's training in CANS that's available through TCOM. We learned what that meant yesterday too, another acronym to throw in there. So it's Transformational Collaborative Outcomes Management. Her website is right there. Hope you have that pen and pencil handy. If not, it can be put into the chat as well, so everybody has that. And that on their website, they have action planning. And the action planning training is free. Now, if you want to take the whole CANS training like everybody else does that's in interviewing your kids, you can. She can give you a code. Apparently, that's what I'm understanding. But that the action planning is wow, I went away from her with just like so many notes. I had to spend hours yesterday going through them all and trying to pull out what pieces do I need to share? How are we wrapping this up and giving everybody the best of what was out there? And I think that these are the most important pieces that she had. But of course, there's more. We had another day, and today we heard from Barbara, Sharon, and Chastity. And we learned that the CANS, caregivers, resources, and needs help the whole family as a team, right? So doing all of this and utilizing all of the things that they had outlined is going to help us as our family with our kids. Barbara had said, are you emotionally able to take care of yourself so that you can be present and available for your child? And I think that's so important. That goes back to that mask I was talking about. If we aren't taking care of us, which they went on to talk about even more, if we're not doing that, we can't really be the best we can for our kids. So make sure you're taking that time out every day for yourself, doing something, whether it's coffee all by yourself alone somewhere, or jacuzzi in the hot tub with your husband in the mornings and the coffee with no kids. What you need to do for your self-care and your time so that you have that battery power to try to last throughout the day. I'm not saying it's always going to because our kids know our buttons, but it gives us more resiliency and resource and tools to use when that does happen so that we can do our own breathing and telling ourselves to calm down and slow down and wait. So be emotionally able, okay, and take that time. If not, she said, tell the team, ask them how to help you. That's what they're there for. But we have to build that team first. And then how do you say, I need help when you're the one taking care of everyone else? How do you say that? Well, I thought Barbara and Chastity did a great job of kind of explaining that to us. Build the team. Make sure that you know the team and you're having those CFTs where you're coming together and collaborating, building that as a resource so that they can know you and you can know them and you can all be transparent and vulnerable around each other without feeling like they're out to get you. And that way we're going to be able to have the backup when we need it because we do need backup at times and respite's not always going to be the only thing we need. Sharon said, explain to the youth the reason for the cans so they don't feel picked on. Yes, as we're doing these cans and our kids feel like, why do they have to know my story? I don't even know this person. Why do I have to say that again? Why do I have to tell that again? Well, hopefully you don't. Hopefully it's one time and then it's all there and then we don't have to do it anymore. And if we use the youth workbook and we explain to them, this is your very own story, babe. It's yours. You own it. And here's what we're going to get because of it. And here's how you don't have to tell your story over and over again because it's here. And now we don't have to do that. Then maybe we will get more of that buy-in from the kids. So I thought that was really awesome, valuable information. We've been given tools. Over the last 3 days, we have received so many tools that I've outlined for you here. And with all of those things, I want you guys to go into those documents on Whova and print out these important pieces because I think they're going to be so helpful to you. Just to have in your hand, be able to scroll through, even if you don't use all of it, there's resources there that are valuable for those moments when it's like, I don't know what to do. And you can go back and access that. So now we're going to shine on, which is my favorite part of the whole thing. What is shine on anyway? And how does it have anything to do with all of this? Well, this is what shine on is. It's share, help, inspire, nurture, encourage others now. So if we are shining on, it means that we are going to share all of this information that we got today with the other mamas and papas that couldn't be on this call, with the other caregivers who need this information, with the school, with the providers, with everybody who needs to know. This is how the cans is supposed to work. Here's the level my kids are supposed to be getting. Here's the services I just found out about. Here's how the providers can all be on the same team. You're going to share. And with that, you're going to have power and everyone's going to have knowledge and you're going to grow this collaborative team that can help each other, right? Because the next part is help. That's what we're trying to do for this child anyway, is help them. So together, we're all going to be able to help each other. And then that's going to inspire our child and everybody else to feel more empowered as we're on this journey, helping them to find the resources and do things because now we're working together on one thing. That's going to nurture our child and it's going to create more connectivity with them so that our bond is stronger, their resilience is stronger, their healing is better, and we can walk further together in this hope. And that's going to encourage everybody. I mean, when a child feels nurtured and encouraged, they grow, they sprout. We all do. So if we use all of these things together, then we are all going to feel a little bit more empowered, a little more self-assured and confident in everything that's going on. And then we're going to spread that to others so that all of the mamas and papas can know this information, so that everybody knows how to access and utilize the cans correctly. We're going to stick together, even though it's others, we're going to stick together and work as a team to help spread this so that we can all grow this way. And when are we going to do it? We're going to do it now, starting today. You've got the tools. I'm going to leave you on a high note so that we can all go out feeling empowered with all of this information. And then we can go and spread this, because guess what, guys? Guess what? You can. You can. And now you can even hack the system. This one is from Dr. Israel. When he heard what I was going to be speaking on, he said, oh, look, you can hack the system, because hope, it overcomes those ACEs, and cans are easy when you know what to do. And now you guys have that information. So yes, for your information, Family and Youth Idaho, I can hope, know, and ace this to shine on.